Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Jared and I am back with another video, and I am very excited to finally have a new Runick video. This has been so long. Runick has gotten nothing good for a very long time. Also, with Malice being in the meta for like a year, I really didn't feel good playing this deck. And finally, they actually gave an engine that can kind of support it, or at least start and do well with it, and combo extend with it. So I'm really happy about it. And surprisingly, it's one of the decks that have Justice Hunters. You may not know this or be surprised about it, but Yummy actually can play pretty well with Runick, and I was scouring YouTube. I thought somebody would have made this, and no, it is not on YouTube. Thank God Nick was playing on Dueling Book and told me one of his opponents had a deck like this and was trying it out. So I took the idea and messed around with it, and this is what I came up with so far. There is other cards and variations you can put in here. I'm going to go over that as I go through it, but yeah, overall, if you guys enjoy, please subscribe, and if you have any suggestions, leave them down below. I would be very happy to see them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. Okay guys, so here is my current Runick Yummy list. There is plenty of cards in here that can probably change and change ratios and other tech choices you can do. I messed around with a lot of different stuff, but this is what felt the best right now. The deck does have like these kind of issues, and I'll explain those too. So just very quickly for the Runick cards, old ratio, 20 cards, 2 Fountain, 3 Tip, 3 Freezing, 3 Slumber, 3 Flashing, 3 Dispelling, 3 Destruction. And then for the Yummy lineup, only 2 Lollipop. This is like the worst one. Cookie is very important in this deck because that destruction effect is super relevant. So you need, obviously without battle phases, you need ways to destroy cards. Utilizing Cookie as much as you can to be able to pop monsters over and over and over again. Every turn, especially, like every time your opponent activates something to tag out a Synchro into a Cookie or a Cupsy, the other important one, to get draws, especially in a Runick deck, doing that every turn, again, adds up and the value gets very, very good over the course of a game that you're trying to drag out. So yeah, 3 copies of Cookie, 3 copies of Cupsy. This is where things I feel like can change, is actually these last 12 cards. You can change these ratios too, but these last 12 cards are definitely like all switchable. 1 copy of the 1 field spell Mignon. I'm not big on it. It's a nice extender. Sometimes you can get it and get some extra value, but I'm really only using this for the Grave effect, which might sound surprising, but I needed a card to recycle the Yummy cards as long as the Runicks are going. If that makes sense. Like, I just need to keep these cards going, and before we don't have Yummy Marshmallow yet, this is a fine card to play. Obviously the field spells conflict, so you're not really trying to end on this, you're just like trying to activate it, get the extender, and then just like send it to the grave to put a fountain over it. And then 1 copy of Surprise. Again, I don't think you need more than this right now, but you can play more, but it's also like a brick, so keep that in mind, but I think 1 is fine for now. Once you get the engine going, you don't really need more Surprise. And then lastly, 3 copies of Tuningware. This is something I am super, super excited about, because this card has been broken for so long, and there's another card that goes with it. I think it's Dark Sea Float, if I remember right, or Dark Sea Rescue. Let me find it real quick. There it is. Dark Sea Rescue. It's essentially another Tuningware. If it's used for a Synchro Summon and sent to the graveyard, the owner of this card draws a card. Tuningware, if this card is sent to the graveyard for a Synchro Summon, draw a card. But Tuningware can be used as a level 2 if it's used for a Synchro Summon. Also matters, I'll explain that as the video continues when we get to the extra deck. But point is, this is not once per turn. There's other variations you can do with this. Notable thing is that this is also a machine, level 1, I'm sorry, 100 attack, level 1, and this is also a machine 0 attack, so you can do things like machine duplication, parry map, and things of that nature. And you're probably wondering, Jared, there's no tuner in here, how are you synchroing this? I'll explain this if we get to the extra deck. 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 Purge. Again, these hand traps, I know they conflict, but maybe this could be like something else, like Songs of the Dominators, but I didn't want to turn off my Tuningware. So just, again, like I just picked generic things, but for now, this is what it is. Maybe this could be something like Droplet if you want it to be, but I think Ash is just fine in this slot. And then 1 copy of Talents. For the extra deck, 2 Hugin and 1 Jerry. And then 1 of each of the Yummy Synchros. Obviously, that's how every Yummy deck is playing it. But the main thing about these is that we finally have Synchros that don't really require a tuner. And when I say that, because the Link 1 can be used as a tuner. And the Link 1 we're using as our tuner is Gravity Controller. So what the average Runick combo is, just like it was with Quem and for Naturias, is usually a Runick plus two Runicks plus a card, or one Runick plus a card. There's usually a combo. The second Runick is usually just to get the draws and keep the engine going. But usually you can go any of these, whether it be any of the Yummy Monsters or a Tombing Wear plus a Runick spell. So you can go Runick spell for Hugin and Draw Phase, grab Fountain. Then you can either normal Tuning Wear, or you can link off the Hugin into Gravity Controller, either normal Tuning Wear or special summon one of the Yummy Monsters. If it's a Cupsy, use its effect, of course, and then Synchro into your Cupsy Yummy Way that clears the extra monster zone. You didn't have to have an actual tuner to be able to use Tuning Wear, so if you use Tuning Wear for that, you can chain block the Yummy Way to be able to draw first and then double search with the Yummy Way and the discard. So it gives you like a nice, very good starter. Then later down the line, you can do something like use Starham, get back the Tuning Wear, draw an additional card if you want to. I've actually preferred not doing that, and the reason why is because Starham, one, it discards a card. Two, you really need the Starham to reuse cards like Cookie. You need destruction. Keeping the board clear, you need to gain value. Flashing Fire is only once per turn, and that's really not enough a lot of the time. Like, you need multiple destructions, so being able to use something like Flashing Fire and then Cookie, and then Book of Moons, that's 4 monsters that you're able to just like kind of deal with. That helps a lot, and it makes a big difference. So being able to do that over and over and over again every single turn really adds up. But again, very, very good that now we can use Tuning Wear and Dark Sea Rescue as normal summons. And there is another build of this where you can play something like Machine Duplication, because again, they're not once per turn. They both are machines with 500 less in attack. You can summon 3 of them out, and I promise you, there is some lines, but they used too many cards in the extra deck. You went through, like, you pretty much go through your whole extra deck if you do a combo with them, but you draw a cajillion cards, but you go through your whole extra deck, and synchros overall are like lacking right now. Which is a problem. But yeah, just something to consider. But if you wanted to try a higher ceiling one, I leave that option to you. Again, so 1 Gravity Controller, 3 copies of Herald. This is your main interrupt point. And again, Herald is a card that is your opponent wants to summon something without activating anything, going to battle phase, hitting it, and then again, if you remember from a year ago when I was playing all these Runick decks, you don't care because you want the game to prolong playing Runick. You just need turns to activate, banish, gain value, draw. But once the engine's going, it doesn't matter if they're using their battle phase to deal with heralds, because you are playing Runick. You don't care. It doesn't bother you. And then yeah, so you want as many of these as possible. You can make multiple of them. I've gone through all 3 before. 1 copy of Metal Marcher and 1 copy of, again, Starham. Starham not negating the monster from Met Cookie was what I was talking about. And then Metal Marcher is used for the normal combo to make Herald. You can also play Tatsunoko. I'll show you that card really quickly, because this card lets you synchro summon, level 3 synchro, and it lets you synchro from the hand. And this card comes up when you draw into a second Tuning Wear. This card will still trigger if it is synchroed from the hand, so you go into Tatsunoko synchro with Herald with Tuning Wear from hand. Same thing works with Dark Sea Rescue if you're doing that, to be able to synchro in the Herald and get a draw from either one of them that you're using. So just something to keep in mind. Again, just another option. I'm not playing it right now, but it's just something that I found while going through this deck. I'm only playing 1 copy of Snatchy. I don't think you need more than 1 of this, to be honest. You're not field spell dependent. You're not trying. That's not like your goal. You really just need this card to be able to quick synchro, and that is it, and nothing else. So that's all it is for that. 1 copy of, I am not going to try to pronounce that, the Link 2 Light Beast. This card's cool, being able to get back the Surprise, but also being able to get back any quick play spell. Like, it's not just the Surprise, right? You can get back any Runick spell. Get back Tip if you leave it in there. It's like super important because it just counts as 2 Runicks. So that's like super, super good. And then if it's destroyed, being able to trade with something, also very important, because eventually they're going to have to start trading into your board regardless. And then, of course, the 1 SP Little Knight. You can play more than 1 Little Knight because Little Knight with Runick is so, so good. I do have, like, some complaints of this deck having, like, a long game issue with the Yummy cards because you run out of extra deck, but that's why you cycle through these 3 so many times over and over and over again. And usually that's fine as long as you're recycling Cookie and the Cupsy to draw while you're booking down their stuff and just doing that over and over and over again, you should be in a good position. So yeah, that is pretty much the deck, and that's pretty much all the interactions that I wanted to go over. I think I got them all when I was going through it, between the Tatsunoko draw, the Machine Dupe, the Dark Sea Rescue, Yeah, a lot of variation you can add to this deck. Another thing was a Super Heavy Samurai Synchro, which was this one guy where if he's Synchro Summoned, you can target a machine in the grave, add it to your hand. If you have a spell, you can't summon it, but it doesn't matter because if you, again, Dark Sea Flow, Dark Sea Rescue, you can use it, get some draws, make this, add it back to your hand, Tatsunoko, synchro it from your hand, get another draw. So like you can get, if you like machine, that's like more of a machine dupe line, you can get like, I mean, we were doing the math on it, I think you can get like upwards of 6 draws-ish. And then also, one more thing, what is the name of this card? It is a level 2 synchro that specials back all of the level 2 or lowers. Celestial Double Star Shaman. So this is a card that has been, this is an insane card that does not have a home. And this was the problem that I was having, was that when I say the combo went through your whole extra deck if you use Machine Dupe, it's because of this. So what ends up happening, you do a line where you Machine Dupe, do the normal Yummy line, and then you Starham back a Tuning Wear or a Dark Sea Rescue, and the Starham makes it a tuner. So now you're able to use one Tuning Wear that's a tuner, and another Tuning Wear that's not a tuner, and synchro for the Double Star Shaman. That lets you get back all 3 Tuning Wares, again, or Dark Sea Rescue, plus the Yummy Monster that you used earlier in the combo, and then you can synchro them all off again. So in total, you're getting like 6 or 7 draws because you're also bringing back the one Tuning Ware with Starham, and that's not including the Runick Fountain draw, or if you're doing like a Cup Seed, the draw of that. Like that's not including any other draws. That's just Tuning Ware draws. Like 7 Tuning Ware draws in one combo is insane. So just something to keep in mind. I thought it was kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know, just a neat little thing that you can do. So that's going to do it for the deck. Again, a lot of these ratios and non-engine and things like that can be switched around. I don't think this is like a set in stone thing, but it's definitely nice to see that I am able to play Runick again with new cards at a competitive level. It's been a while, so I'm happy to see it. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any suggestions, leave them down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.